Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Dan Malsch from Soundmind Recording Studio, and we're going to be doing an 1176 shootout video. We've been wanting to do one of these videos for a long time. We finally have a little time, and it's not going to be a super scientific video. It's going to be how I use 1176s daily. I record with 1176s. I mix with 1176s. I own all of these 1176s. So yeah, I'm just going to give you my take on how I use them and let you guys listen. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. All these 1176s are great. Pretty much all the functions on the 1176s are going to be the same, minus the MC77 from Purple Audio. That's going to have a few different options. But the audio we're going to use is a band, Sisters of the Black Mountain, and the song is called Spirit of the Dead. I thought this is a really nice vocal to use because I had to use a lot of 1176 to get the vocal above the mix. So I'm going to show you kind of light compression and then kind of how I cream compression in the mix. I tend to use 1176s very hard. For me, it's not a light touch compressor. I tend to, brutalize 1176s. So I'm going to show you guys how they sound.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling.
So with the 1176, I tend to use just about medium attack and always the fastest release because I like the urgency that the fast release gives. So the fast release with an 1176, it always has, like I said, always has this like push and pull thing that's going on. So I'm going to just show you fast release and medium release. Because like I said, this is how I use an 1176. But a bunch of engineers use the 1176 differently, but I'm just going to show you how I use it. So let's take a quick listen to a medium release.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling.
And we're getting about 7 dB of compression at
Getting
the
pulled
loudest
out
signal.
Of the window, losing consciousness. Who knows where I've been?
And I'm going to say this a bunch in this video. The 1176, to me, is I'm not going to use it lightly. I'm always going to be slamming the vocal or whatever instrument I'm compressing pretty hard. It's not a 1 or 2 dB of compression type of deal for me. So let me show you one more time. I'm going to go a little bit faster on the attack, and the fastest release, once again, I'm going to give a little bit more compression. So I have to adjust the output a little bit.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling, buzzing, feeling,
10 dB on the
getting pulled out of the window, losing consciousness.
Starting to hear a little more of that aggressive thing from the 1176.
Who knows where I've been?
I think it sounds great. I think it sounds really good. The warm audio sounds great.
Morning.
So let's take a look at bass guitar. So what I did with the bass, I slowed the attack down a little bit because I didn't want to cut off the attack of the bass. And I also slowed the release down a little bit. It's not quite the fastest. And let's see how much compression I'm getting right now. Yeah. So you can see it's fast enough to where on the first hit of the bass guitar, it smacks it down nicely. But you're not losing too much of the attack. Yeah, it's great. Watch how quickly it'll slam down the bass. Sounds great. And let's just slow it down a little bit, the attack. Let a little more of that first note through. 1176 is really fast, so even at the slowest, they're still very fast. Sounds great. It's doing a really good job. It's kind of how I would use it in the song. And obviously, you can adjust the output. I think it sounds great. So, a little less than medium attack, and just about, not the fastest release. Yeah, I think it sounds great. So it's WA-76 with the bass guitar. So let's check out the snare drum. This is the WA-76 with the snare drum. Let's check it out. Just about a medium attack. I'm going to go fastest release because I'll always do the fastest release on a snare drum, so there's no reason not to show you the fastest release. And like I said, this is how I use the 1176s. Controlling it nicely. If I go too fast, you see how it cuts off the transit. You don't want that. So slow it down. Give it a little bit more. I think it sounds great. So yeah, it's Warm Audio WA-76 on the snare. All right, so the next compressor we're going to look at is the Audioscape 76D. I absolutely love Audioscape. Let's check it out. This Audioscape 76D on the vocals.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling, buzzing feeling, getting pulled out of the window, losing consciousness.
One thing I should mention, on 1176s, I'm always 4-to-1. Unless I'm doing like a drum crush thing, all buttons in thing I do at the room, but I'm always using 4-to-1 on the ratio and all the 1176s. So let's listen a little more.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling, buzzing feeling, getting pulled out of the window, losing consciousness. Who knows where I...
Now I'm going to give a little more input, which is going to give a little more urgency on the compressor, a little more drive.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling, buzzing feeling, getting pulled out of the window, losing consciousness.
Slow the attack down a little bit.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling, buzzing feeling, getting pulled out of the window, losing consciousness.
Great sounding compressor. Let's take a look at the 76D on bass. Yeah, I love how it just locks down the bass. Now you got to be a little bit careful because you don't want to cut off too much of the attack. So I'm going to just slow down the attack just a little bit more. You can see I was just holding it down. Just holding the single down. Sounds great. All right, let's look at the Audioscape 76D on snare drum. Now I'm just going to be adjusting these things as we go. Slow down the attack a little bit. Fast release, it's always going to be fast release for me on the snare drum. And be careful, if I tap too much, too fast, you see how it takes off some of the attack of the snare drum, so let's slow that down. A little Check our output. Output now. Oh yeah. That's starting to sound how we want it. Yeah, it's beautiful sounding. You're still retaining the attack, but you have a little bit more control. And you actually can get more length of the snare drum too with the 1176. Let's slow down the release a little bit. See, when you slow down the release, it's not coming back fast enough. So definitely fast release on snare drum. I'll show you that again. Dead. Beautiful. Sounds great. All right, we're going to take a look at the Audioscape 76A. First thing we're going to look at is the vocal. And I'm just adjusting as I go, so let's take a look.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling, buzzing feeling, getting pulled out of the window, losing consciousness. Who knows where I've been?
I love the mid-range aggressiveness. It's one of my favorite vocal compressors for sure, and I think Audioscape did a great job on this. So let's just be a little more brutal with the compression like I would do with a compressor like this.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling, buzzing feeling, getting pulled out of the window, losing consciousness. Who knows where I've been?
Now if I slow the release down,
in the morning,
gonna have a weird
floating
hang.
out of body,
Very
waking
dull.
at the
Definitely
ceiling,
not how I use it.
buzzing
Always
feeling,
fastest
getting
release.
pulled out of the window,
Came alive
losing consciousness. Who knows where I've
sounds
been?
awesome. Bass guitar, I'm adjusting as I go. Definitely be careful about the release, because if the release is too slow, it really dulls down the bass. Find the sweet spot. Still that mid-range aggressive, it sounds great. This compressor. Show you if I attack too quickly, dulls down the first part of the note too much. So slow it down. Bass opens up more. This is exactly how I would use this type of compressor in this type of song. All right, let's take a look at the snare drum. Oh yeah. Slow the attack down a little bit. Fast release, because then you get that smack. Slow down the release. Dull, very dull. Fast release, we're going to get the smack. A little more aggressive. Check the output. Taking too much of the transient off, slow it down a little bit. Sounds amazing. It's a great compressor. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the Urei 1176 LN Revision F. This is from the mid-70s, known as the Blackface. It's an incredible compressor, very sought after. I use this compressor daily on vocals, recording, snare drum. Let's take a listen to, and like I said, I'm going to adjust as I go. Let's take a quick listen.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling, buzzing feeling, getting pulled out of the window, losing consciousness.
Slow down the release a little bit.
Who knows where I've been?
Starts to dull down the vocal. Speed up the release. That again.
In the morning, floating out of
This is a little quicker
body,
attack.
waking
Also
up
dulls
the
down the vocal.
ceiling, buzzing,
Medium
feeling,
text seems to always
getting
work on a
pulled out
vocal.
of the window,
You could hear the
losing
vocal open up as I slow the attack down.
consciousness. Who knows where
Let's check our
I've
output.
been?
Give it a little more on the output. All these compressors
In
sound
the
slightly
morning,
different. This is an
floating
older
out of
compressor from the
body,
70s. It's a
waking
little
at
darker,
the
probably because of the
ceiling,
age.
buzzing, feeling, getting pulled out of the window, losing
It has a ton of vibe.
consciousness. Who knows where I've been?
Sounds beautiful. All right, let's go to the bass guitar. Now we're setting this all up real time, so bear with me. I'm gonna make sure the inserts are right. I mean, 1176 is really hard to mess up. Always sounds great. Now, like I said, I'm showing everyone how I use these compressors. I tend to be very aggressive with 1176s. It's not a soft touch for me. Let's see if I make too fast of attack. Bass gets really dull. Slow it down. Starts to open up. Let's slow down the release. I like slowing down the release a little bit on the bass. Take the input down a little bit. Because obviously there's no threshold, so more input, more compression. This compressor definitely has a lot of vibe, for sure. It sounds great. All right, let's take a look at the snare drum. All right, I'm going to be adjusting this real time. Let's see what we got. Hit it a little bit harder. Fast release. Fast attack, cut up too much of the transient. There we go, snare starts to open up. Let's get a little more output. Let's give it a little more gain. There we go. That sounds great. So you can definitely hear it's a little darker than the previous compressors. Obviously compared to the 76A, which is a very bright mid-rangey compressor, the Blackface sounds a little dark. So yeah, there you go. All right, so let's take a look at the Urei 1176 LN Revision H. It's from the late 70s, early 80s, known as the Silver. Let's take a listen to it on vocals.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling, buzzing, feeling, getting pulled out of the window, losing consciousness.
As I go to the faster release, the vocal opens
Who
up.
knows where I've been?
Medium attack. Check our output.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling, buzzing, feeling, getting pulled out of the window, losing consciousness.
I think it sounds great. There's a little bit more of that mid-range in it again. Let's slow the attack down a little bit.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at
when
the
we
ceiling,
release, we slow the
buzzing,
release down, the
feeling,
vocal dies.
getting pulled out
Fast
of
release,
the
always for me on
window,
vocal.
losing consciousness. Who knows where
sounds great.
I've been?
All right, let's take a look at the bass guitar. Yeah, so I mean, all of these compressors have subtle differences. They all have obviously the 1176 vibe, but they're all slightly different. They're all great though. I mean, every compressor we've tried so far sounds great. So let's check out some bass guitar. Slow the release down a little bit. holding it down, just holding the bass down. The 1176s do this so well. Like I said, if I could only have 2 compressors, it'd be 1176 and an LA2A, and I could do every record with those. But these days we have a lot more, so why not? All right, let's take a look at the snare drum. It's so obvious. Slow release kills the ring. Kills the ring of the snare. Fast release, rings all back. It's so obvious. Now the only thing you have to watch out for is not attacking too much. A little more input. Yeah, the length, it's all there. Sounds great. Now I'm adjusting this stuff real time as we go because this is how we would do it in the studio. This is not staged. We're doing this all real time. Sounds great. All right, so the last compressor we're going to look at is the Purple Audio MC77. Now this compressor is a little bit different. This is Purple's take on the 1176. The other compressors were kind of doing like a recreation of the vintage compressors. This is Purple Audio's their own take on the 1176. Plus it has a few different options. It has a link, so you can link 2 of the Purple Audios together. It also has a side chain. So you can insert an EQ and have a side chain. So let's check it out. I'm just going to play it a little bit and let's see what we got.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling. But
yeah, I want to stop right off the bat. I hear that Purple Audio deal it's a little more hi-fi sounding. Got a little bit of it's got a really nice top end, a really nice mid-range. It's a really great compressor. Play a little bit more.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling, buzzing feeling, getting pulled out of the window, losing consciousness. Who knows where I've been?
When I slowly release down, it kind of dulls the vocal down, but it doesn't do it as much with the Purple Audio.
In the morning,
Fastest
floating
release.
out of body, waking at the ceiling, buzzing feeling, getting pulled out of the window, losing consciousness. Who knows where I've been?
I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive.
In the morning, floating out of body, waking at the ceiling, buzzing feeling, getting pulled out of the window, losing consciousness.
Clamping down on the words too much.
Who knows where I've been?
It sounds really awesome.
In the
Great
morning, floating out of
let's take a look at the bass
body,
guitar.
waking.
A little bit less input. He said there's no threshold on the 1176s. Slow down the release a little bit. Too fast attack dulls down the compressor a little bit. Trying to find the sweet spot. Like we're compressing about almost 10 dB on the loudest source. Just holding that bass rock solid. It's doing a great job. Beautiful. Let's take a look at the snare drum. Fastest release always on the snare drum. I'll show you once again. If I slow down the release, dead. Where's the ring? It's gone. Like I said, I'm showing everyone how I would use the 1176s. Other people use them differently. I tend to use these boxes very, very aggressively. Take a look at our output. awesome. Watch a little too much attack. Dulls it down a little bit, but it doesn't dull it down that much. But you can hear its snare starts to open up. If you want to kill your snare drum, just do the slowest release possible. Quickest release. Sounds awesome. Yep, great. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. We got to see a bunch of different flavors of 1176. Sometimes the differences were subtle, sometimes they were very obvious. I tend to use 1176s in a very aggressive way, whether recording or mixing. But yeah, check it out for yourself, see what you think, and I hope you guys like the video.